Hi everyone. The conspiracy theory I chose to discuss today is the Tuskegee Experiment. It began in 1932 and lasted until 1972. It was initially supposed to be a 6-month experiment that lasted 40 years. The experiment was conducted by the United States Public Health Service and later by the CDC. It was the intentional withdrawal or withholding of treatment in 400 syphilitic black men from Tuskegee, Alabama. The purpose of their research was to study the untreated effects of syphilis. The black men did not know they had syphilis who participated. Um, the PHS advertised the experiment as a treatment of bad blood, which gave them the ability to perform ineffective treatment methods as well as placebos. They also convinced their participants to want to participate by offering free health care. The black men in that area at the time were mostly poor and uneducated, which made them perfect victims for this experiment. Three significant people who were involved in stopping the experiment were Irwin Schatz, he was a young Chicago doctor. William Carter Jenkins, he was an African American statistician in the PHS. And Peter Buxton, he also was very significant. He was a former PHS worker. He wrote a letter to the press and later testified and was a big part in getting the word out onto the front page of New York Times in 1972. As a result, an ad hoc panel was created to review the study, and they found that the participants knew about the treatments they were given and the examinations they had done. However, they were not informed of the purpose for the experiment, and this made it medically unjustified and became terminated. As part of the settlement, the United States paid $10 million at the time. President Bill Clinton, he formally announced that he was sorry for what had happened to the participants and the families, and he also held a ceremony for the surviving participants at the White House. Another person who I forgot to mention was significant in the study was Eunice Rivers. She was a former nurse and a very well-trusted person in the community. She was in charge of keeping records of the men at the time, and she also convinced many of the family members to allow the researchers to do the autopsies on the people who had died. I personally feel that this experiment was very unethical and racial and just overall terrible. And it shows that sometimes we can't even trust our own government. And it's scary to see what researchers will do to study more on a subject. I think that this experiment, although it's ended, is still of impact to many people, especially Black men who need medical treatment. They may be scared or distrusting of the medical professionals and choose not to get their medical treatment, which is sad. And I think that's all. Thank you guys all for listening, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.